Hey gang, welcome back. Hey, it's September now. This week, most schools here in Michigan started school, if they hadn't already. Um, Here, it's apparently traditional to start after Labor Day, which is still really weird to me because I grew up in a place that started in like the middle of August. Um, so, one of the big things for September for most pagans is that Mabon is coming up. Come the 21st or the 22nd, depending on where the equinox falls this year. And so this is probably the time to get started thinking about it, because last week you were probably too busy thinking about the first week of school to actually think about what you're going to do for this upcoming holiday. Almost every site that you go look at online will tell you that this is like the week, or this is the holiday to talk about apples. Everybody is all about apples, which here in Michigan is fine because this is the start of apple cider season and apple cider mill season. I've been here 18 years now. I still don't get it. I don't think they're very entertaining, but they're like a thing people go do. You go to apple cider mills, they have apples, and some of them have pumpkins, and some of them are sort of like carnivals where they have pony rides and like art projects and petting zoos and stuff. Anyway, they sell apples and cider, fresh cider, and usually donuts. They have like these cake donuts that have cinnamon sugar on them, which is like the thing to do. The donuts are pretty good. Cider's pretty good. But I don't really get the whole let's go to a cider mill thing. It's just not very entertaining as far as I'm concerned. And my kids don't really find it that entertaining either. Most of the time I find them really overcrowded and that they have long lines. And we just don't really like standing in line that much either. So, besides apples, this is a good time for things like corn, nuts, other fall fruits, anything else that's sort of a fall-ish thing. It's not really squashes yet in most places, although in some places you can start getting squashes now. Other vegetables, zucchinis are usually pretty good this time of year. This is usually a good time for a big ritual harvest, a big feast. Because it's the going into the fall, this is sometimes the time people make brooms. It's a good time to make corn husk dolls if you didn't make them at Lammas. You can make dried apples into little faces and make dolls out of them, which is a little creepy sometimes and a little weird and sometimes hard to do without making them, without them spoiling, but it turns out kind of cool sometimes. But in general, this is the time to really start thinking about what you're going to do for this next upcoming holiday and to talk about those sorts of things. This is also a good time for pomegranates and to read the stories of Persephone and the underworld and her descent into the underworld. Oh, and root vegetables. Root vegetables like carrots and potatoes and onions would be good for your feast too. Other than that, so over in the Magical Moms Club, we're going to have a book club. We were going to start this month, but I forgot to set it up so that you knew what book to get. So we're going to start the first week in October. We're going to do Family Wicca by Ashleen OGF first. So go over to the Magical Moms Club and get the details on that and go check it out. We're also going to run a series later this month about how to deal with the flyers that come home in your kids' backpacks that are religiously oriented, because those come up once in a while, and they're usually the sort of thing that people either just ignore or, every year on some of the bigger groups that I moderate, people really get bent out of shape about them and get freaked out because they get these permission slips home. So we're going to talk about those at the end of this month. And I am looking for presenters for January for our magical parenting con. So if you're interested in presenting, go check out the event for that and send in a submission. If you need links, comment below and I will send you the links for whatever you need links for. And meanwhile, have a great week.